Welcome back to the All Out NRL Fantasy Podcast, and it's great to say that, Door, after the weekend or 50 plus hours that we've had. And if you didn't know, the All Out Instagram and Facebook look disabled. For what reason, I'm not sure whatsoever. It was quite a stressful weekend, actually, for the All Out boys. But Door, it's great to be here in Brisbane for Magic Round, mate. Round 9 on the calendar for the NRL season. It's always a belter of a year, always a belter of a round, should I say. And honestly, I can't wait for it, mate. It's going to be an absolute electric weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait either, Cord. And yes, no, it was a very stressful weekend for us all. But yeah, we are back. All I can say is just thank you to, I guess, you guys as the followers and also some other pages like the Casual Athlete, Longy, and Super Coach Playbook. Those boys were really helpful, at least in keeping us calm, I guess, and the situation that would eventually get resolved. It's just going to take some time.
Look, it was a dire situation, and when a message comes up saying that if you don't win your appeal, your page is going to be banned permanently, stress after 5 years of work into the page does kick in. So
yeah,
there was a lot of thank yous to Dishy out there and Dora. I think you said that really well. So
yeah,
looking forward to Magic Round this weekend though, mate. It's going to be an absolute belter.
I'm there every day. So if you see me, I'll be there.
I want to see people with photos with Dora and posted, and we'll repost them.
That's what we'll 100%. And definitely going to bring out the Jamal Idris dreadlocks hair. So if you see someone wearing a couple of years old dreadlocks Magic Round hair, that's probably me.
Yeah, good on you. So, I like that a lot, to be honest.
And then I'll be there as well for Women's Origin. So I'm there at Suncorp Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday.
Looking at the weather, mate, and it is a festival of rugby league, and you walk around Brisbane being Brisbane locals, the jerseys that are on show the whole weekend through Caxton Street, Roma Street, the city. The NRL have really started something incredible here, and I don't know how many years it's been going for, Door, but I'd say we're into our 6th or 7th year at least.
Yeah,
it's and it is truly a
great initiative.
One of the great initiatives, and it's only back till 2028, I believe they've got it till. So there's plenty of years to go here for all the Brisbane locals, which is great news.
I can't see it, to be honest, Cord. I just honestly cannot see it leaving.
Yeah,
leaving Suncorp.
Oh, it's a perfect area. You want to take it to Sydney. Sydney's got
it's just as well as it's not just the area. It's also just the turnout, the attendance, and like the Brisbane people turn up for the footy.
We love our footy.
So yeah, look, it's a great weekend. I'll be out there. Feel free, like Cord said, come and say hello. Feel free to grab a selfie with us. Put it on your story, tag us, and we'll reshare it for you guys. It's going to be a magical weekend.
Oh, it sure is. Let's crack on to some fantasy talk, mate. All out 100%. Team. I feel like there was a lot of big scorers over the weekend with your Terrell May, your Payne Haas, your Isaiah captaincy options. So what did All Out score? I know we captained Cleary, which is probably not the most ideal situation.
No. So, look, we probably didn't pick the right captaincy with Cleary. Look, 56, 112 as captain. But look, a lot of our other players went well. We only did the one trade last week, trying to conserve some trades. So I only did just the one trade last week. Let me just see who we actually traded out, because I have forgotten after such a stressful weekend. Yes, we traded out Jaden Campbell for Preston. Held on to Olaquato, and that really was beneficial, should I say. 78 points. From him. Look, we had 97 from Haas, 104 from May, 73 from Fogarty that we got in a couple of weeks. Look, Marky Mark's been doing well as well.
Revelation on the wing, really, hasn't
he? He's been good, and then Tamale as well. The last couple of weeks has really found some form. So, 47 from him. Look, I think we do sort of need to save trades again, but the situation with Ponga, I think, has just got that bad that, look, we're probably going to sell him this week and he'll probably go off. But, look, I honestly don't know how long I can watch Newcastle play football anymore and not have someone like Ponga. Anyway, I don't want to harp on about it too much, but it's just not good. So, that's basically it. Like, we had Jenkins was our worst scorer, Cord. He only got 22, but the only other player we could have played was Toya, was 24. So we
not much better there.
2 points. So it was just the captaincy
I think
option that stopped us from getting probably high 1,000s.
Yeah, I think it was also a week for saving trades. I think there was a lot of times where players could have bite the bullet and sold a Hubner. They could have sold a Toya. They could have sold a Smith. They could have sold a Dylan Egan potentially if you needed an upgrade. But it was definitely a week to hold trades. And Smith 75 now. Break even door would be low. Dylan Egan break even would still be low.
Dylan Egan's break even, I know, is 22. So after he's only 33, he didn't play played probably the least amount of minutes he has since he started like getting that starting spot. But yeah, look, you can't be too upset with what he's done thus far this season.
Smith break even of 6 now, 477K. So there's a lot of money to be made there. Yeah. Rob Toya, probably a sell this week with a break even of 37, but we will get to that in the buy, hold, sell. Tomorrow, let's crack on to some TLT door because it is a great week. And I feel like it's a very favourable matchups for our guns this week. I'm looking down the list, and if the likes of Tedesco, Hines, Ponga, there's a lot of favourable matchups here for the guns, though. It could be another big week of scoring, and we'll start it off with the Friday night game. Sharks Para. Yep. Iro's back for Hiroti. Brendan Hamill-Ueli is also slated for his first NRL game. Nothing really much for the Sharks, who seem to be clicking. Nico Hines got a good score of 60 on the weekend. He could be back.
Yeah, I think Nico's just basically, like you said, Cord, he's just been plodding along. Nothing too outrageous, but nothing horrible. He's just plodding along. A great option if you ever want to get him, but until he gets like a 70 or 80, he's probably not like someone that we're going to rush out there and say buy. But
in my personal team, I've had him for quite a while, actually. He does play round 12, which is good handy for the buy round against probably what will be a depleted Roosters team. So if you're looking for someone to buy there for your team, probably a nice option, 8.4% at the moment.
Yeah, honestly, Cord, I don't really think there's anyone here that's screaming. Like Billy Burns has replaced Wilton that's out injured. I think Wilton should be back next week. But outside of that, there's not really that many elite options that I'm going to say to fantasy coaches this week go and buy.
There's another option at half if you need it, and it was Mitchell Moses after an absolute blinder 2 weeks ago. They had the bye last week. He's going to be fresh for Magic Round on the Friday, first game. He could be an option, but he might also play Origin. So you have to sort of weigh up that possibility that he also might play that first Origin match. Only the one change for Parramatta. Tulagi has been replaced by Geimer, who was suspended. Tulagi, if you have Geimer in your team, probably lucky, but you wouldn't be getting him.
No,
that's for sure.
Definitely not. I think it's just a placeholder this week. Getting in, Geimer replacing Tulagi, like you said, with the suspension there. And with Moses, me personally, I honestly think New South Wales will have the halves partnership of Moses and Cleary for game one. So Moses' break even's 54. He did get 51 in his return, had a week off. I don't think it's screaming that you need to go and buy him, but if you want to, feel free. The guys like Iongi, he's still a great hold at the moment, so I'd be holding on to him. Katoga, he had a stinker the other week, but I back him to return. And that's really it in terms of players. Like Riley Smith still plodding along if you wanted someone like that. But I think he's sort of, he's only going to get like 30s, 40s.
Yep.
We yet to really see a huge breakout score from him. So really not that much fantasy relevancy in this game, Cord.
Yeah, the next game, though, Roosters Dolphins. A lot of people last week were told to get Jimmy Tedesco. And boy, did he deliver 70 points for us over last weekend. I'd say he was the buy of the week for me this week against the Dolphins.
Especially if you view Edwards as definitely getting the Blues fullback jersey.
Yeah, 100%.
100% get Teddy in.
Santa Smith, as we touched on, and Savala keep plodding along nicely. So that's good to see. Toya, probably a sell, as we touched on. For the Finns,
I think you can keep Toya one more week if you wanted to, if you want to conserve trades. Savala's got a break even of -16.
Yeah.
And then you guys like Nafu, White, Angus Crichton, Wong. Look, they're not setting and Watson, like they all got around like the 30s last week or 40s. Look, you can sell them if you want to, but me personally, I'm just going to sort of ride it until the break even really gets like spiraling out of control, or someone's like saying, Connor, you need to buy this guy. Like his break even's ridiculously low. He's absolutely playing the house down.
Yeah, when Wong was playing on the weekend, I was sort of saying to myself, and I think I said in the group chat, like, Wong is gone next week. And then I saw that he had the round 12 playing. It's only 3 weeks away, so I probably hold till then. And then if he starts to go shit, well, then we'll sell him. So I think he's a wait and see for me, bit of a hold.
You got to sort of, in my opinion, like it's not the best, but getting a 40 is like, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For the Finns, we told everyone to buy Herbie this week. He got a 48, and he looked really well, actually, before that second half capitulation against the Raiders.
Yeah, it was not good.
Kafusi returns to the side. Jerry Marshall-King has been named to play his first game.
Yes.
And other than that, I'm not seeing much fantasy relevance, to be honest.
No, not really, Cord, to be honest. Like, Frankie Molo made his Dolphins debut last week. Got 32 points, but his break-even's 33, so pardon me, I don't think there's really anything there for the Dolphins. Like Katoa's been going all right, but he just got he got 46 last week, so nothing really. I really don't think. Oh, actually, the one guy that did have his best game since early in the season was Mr. Gilbert. Tom Gilbert finally actually had a good game. I think he got 60 points. One player, actually, if you really want to have a look at someone, Cord, is probably maybe they don't play round 13, but they play round 12, is Fine Fukiaki. He got 45 points on the weekend and has a break even of 20. It's not like go out there and definitely get him, but definitely probably the only one, I think, with a bit of relevancy fantasy-wise outside of Herbie Farnworth, like you discussed, Cord.
Yeah, okay. I'm like that shout, actually. Next game, Rabbitohs Knights. Jake Gray will return to fullback with Latrell Mitchell suspended. I think he was pretty lucky, Latrell, to be honest. That was a pretty horrific shot, and he only got 2 weeks. So Latrell... 1 week.
Yeah,
wow.
1 week.
Yeah,
So,
okay. I think he's very lucky then. Whiten shifts to 5'8". Look, I'm not seeing much fantasy relevance there. And Knights, the big news is Kalen Ponga. Do you sell him? Do you hold him?
It's
what do
annoying.
you reckon?
It is really annoying. On South, firstly, I think the only thing to take away from that is just a bit disappointing. Look, Mamazoulis continues to kill it, but the one thing that I notice in that team list is unfortunately what I said last week has come to fruition, and Hubner is named on the bench.
Yeah.
So, look, if he can loop, I'd probably be looping Hubner. I still expect him to get around 40 minutes, so I still expect him to get solid minutes. But definitely
you can definitely sell.
You could definitely sell, but look, his break even is 26 after that HIA. I'd give him 1 more week personally, but if you want to sell, like you said, Cord, feel free to do so. And then on Newcastle, we said to buy Fletcher Sharpedo last week, and he got a lovely 50 points in a deplorable Newcastle team. So he continues to go well. Good old Fletcher Sharp. But yeah, like you said, Cord, the question on everyone's lips is Kalen Ponga, what to do. I think we've sort of, it's either you bite the bullet and you're potentially going to keep losing the money, or you probably, what I recommend doing is you probably jump off now just with Origin coming up, and then potentially get on someone like a Drinkwater or Dylan Edwards is playing Origin, so I think Drinkwater's probably the best wing fullback to go and grab.
Yeah, he's playing well, isn't he?
Played well on the weekend, goal kicking.
Got New Zealand on the weekend.
Won't play Origin. So yeah, look, I think that's really the big one. And then Thomas Cant. If you still got Thomas Cant, you can use him as a red dot, but he's being dropped from the Knights 17 altogether. So look. You can sell him.
He just doesn't play round 12, which is my issue. Teddy does. If Edwards is going to get that role, I'm probably going to Teddy over Edwards.
Dylan Lucas had a good return as well. Scored 49 points, break even of 48. He didn't play the full 80 minutes. So again, if you want to, you can go and grab him, but you can wait another week. I might wait another week and pick him up against those deplorable Titans.
Yep. Look, if you're wondering whether to get Ponga or not, this is my logic. If he gets to bottom, just say he gets to 400K, are you willing to waste 2 trades to get him in, or are you just going to bite the bullet and keep him for 2 trades? That's my question.
You can definitely keep him, but I don't know. I just my problem is my wing fullbacks are deplorable.
Deplorable, yeah. Same.
I've got Ponga. like Tamale, Jenkins, and then Iongi. So like I have no studs at all. So I'm thinking
I got a Brimson in there, so that helps.
I did a Hamish Stewart to Savala last week to free up some cash. So potentially this week I could upgrade like a Jenkins, who I think is probably the biggest sell out of the cheapies. He probably goes and has a good game now. But I think with McLean dropped as well, that we'll touch on soon. But yeah, for me, I think I might upgrade like a Jenkins or even a Stafford Toa, just because Stafford Toa's really made a lot of money. And then I could leapfrog to like a Herbie or something like that.
Yep. Moving on, was Cowboys, no changes for the Cows. We touched on Drinky. He has a bye. Warriors, look, they got a pretty settled squad now, do the Wars. No changes really for them other than Tamari Martin has come onto the bench with
Clark.
Jacob Laban unavailable. Aaron Clark has
what
been...
What a buy last week.
I didn't buy him, but jeez.
I didn't buy him either, but we said... We did get Sandon Smith wrong with the sell, but we made it back with the Aaron Clark by
81.
Buy
Wow.
hold sell, 81 points.
639K.
Yeah, 81 points last week.
60 minutes.
Yeah, he played 64 minutes. How much money did he make? Let me just quickly check. He made 62K last week. So look, he is. If you didn't get him last week, break even of 14. I think he's the best option. Look, Halasima getting a bit of a crack at second row is also quite interesting as well. I don't think he played the full 80 last week. Where's Kurt?
Why is Clark getting those minutes though? What's the reason for Clark getting this increase in minutes?
Well, Dylan Walker left, and then he started to play a few more minutes, and I just think he's actually just playing so well that he's actually deserved the minutes. Which is exactly what you want to see. I think Halasima is not a bad option either. Look, 37 points last week. The problem is really just the minutes. So he only played 39 minutes last week. So that is the only concern with Halasima. I think that Aaron Clark's definitely, if you didn't get him last week, probably close to
must-have territory.
To the buy of the week. Metcalf keeps on chugging along, and if you want to take a little risk with his history, but Wade Egan has been going very well at hooker. Looks like one of the best premier hooker options.
Yeah, good thing about Clark is that he has that hooker duel, which is huge for him. Definitely. Moving on, West versus Dragons. A few interesting points here for the West. They stay unchanged for the Dragons. They've turned to Lucan, is it? Lycan King Togoya?
Yeah.
Apologies for that pronunciation there.
Yeah, I think it's Lycan King Togia, I think it is.
Lycan King Togia.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah, he replaces Ilias.
Could be a cheapie option here.
Yep, could be a cheapie cash out sort of option there from King Togia. For me personally, I just got Savala last week.
230K.
I've still got Sandon Smith as well. Yeah, so unless I really want to go with heavy halves, I don't think I'll be getting him. But
I still got Jack Goss, so there's a 70K that you could just make there if you sell Jack Goss to your team. Otherwise, Hubner, he can go.
Egan getting the start cord is huge, and we also I think told people to hold Hamish Stewart as well last week, and he's now starting lock as well. So
sold him.
Egan,
that's a bummer.
I sold him as well. So Egan starting second row, Stewart starting lock. Definitely both of those guys are holds and strong plays this week. And then King Togi is a good option if you need a cheapie to bring in. I'm not sure if I'd play him, but look, Corey Allen, Queensland Origin hero, Corey Allen.
What a hero.
He's made his way on the wing for Sione Fainu. So, or Finau, should I say. So that's unreal.
One person that I do want to monitor, and he has made a lot of cash and could be a sell soon, is Toby Couchman. Look, he's still putting up 50-point numbers, but he's only playing 48 minutes. And with the sort of back line that the forward pack that the Dragons are running, I can't really see the minutes upping either. So that 60-minute sort of games might be going back to 50 minutes.
I'd hold him till the round 11, and then for round 12, the Dragons have the bye. So I think he'll get a few more minutes this week. I just think it was just how last week panned out.
Yep.
But yeah, I think, look, you got 44. You take 40s, as I said.
good news for the Dragons there. That's a lovely team. Big news from this week is that Titans forward David Fafita has been relegated to the reserves as Des Hasler looks to spark his side. Look, there must be something internally that we're not seeing that coaches see in David Fafita. Billy Slater doesn't pick him in Queensland team. Desi Hasler doesn't pick him for the Titans, let alone Queensland. So, look, if you got Fafita and you were part of that 1.7, ended up getting him back when he was 8%, you're really kicking yourself here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know how that Des really thinks that Chris Randall playing second row is great for your NRL side. The other thing is as well as I think this Brimson experiment personally at 5'8" needs to end. I'd be moving Brimson. I think they're just waiting for Foran and Campbell to return. And then they'll definitely, I think Brimson will go back to fullback to replace De Groot. But fantasy-wise, look, probably performance of the weekend, big Bo Firma.
Oh, he was good, wasn't
he? He was unreal. Cracked the ton like Tyrrell. And, yeah, look, he is, if you didn't get him last week, look, 109 points last week, break even of 17. Could he play Origin? Yes, he could, but do I see Billy picking him? Probably not. They have the round 12 bye, but they play 13. I think if I'm looking at that team, I think that's the only real fantasy relevant option in terms of the Titans. And then look with the Dogs, I don't really think there's a few players that are out suspended. So if you have Tupanua, just sell. He's gone for a while. Curran, I think, is out 3 weeks, I think. So he's probably a sell too. And Burton's only out a week. So if you did get Matty Burton last week, just hold on to him.
Yep.
And then, look, your Kiraz, he'll bounce back this week. And Preston, look, he still did well. He got like 50-odd, but he'll go a lot better this week, I reckon, against the Titans. Could get a few meaties.
Yep, 100%. And probably came out of the round is 17th place Panthers versus the Broncos on the Sunday. It's crazy to think after 8 rounds of football, the Panthers are coming last on the NRL ladder, but here we are. And Luke Garner will line up at centre in the return from concussion. Brighton To'o remains at least another week. Broncos, Jordan Ricky is back. And looking at that list, Pierre Kura shifting back to the interchange. Tyson Smooth, the 18th man. Broncos, mate, they were sort of back on the weekend after a great win against the Doggies. Can you see them rolling over the Panthers again this week?
I don't know. Like we had a good win, but then the Panthers again lost. So I think the Panthers are a bit of a surprise packet. You don't really know what you're going to get with them thus far this season. They destroyed the Roosters, and then obviously you saw what happened last weekend. So yeah, look, anyone can win on their day. I think that the Broncos showed that on Thursday night, beating the Dogs. So I think that any team can beat any team on their day. It's just, look, I think that, I'm backing the Broncos in. I'm more confident than I was going into the Doggies game. Fantasy-wise, Cord, for both these teams, look, there's not really much to say in regards to Penrith. If you still got Lindsay Smith, I wouldn't be selling him. He's still getting like 40s, 50s, so he's fine. Look, Cleary's didn't set the world on fire this week, but look, you'll take 56 every day of the week.
100%.
I think Dylan Edwards, look, you probably had to get him last week. It's probably too close to Origin now to pick him up, but he was good. And then I think Tom Jenkins, you can hold him, but he'd be the one, hopefully benefits having Garner inside him rather than Casey McLean.
Yep.
But he'd be one I'd be looking to sell personally. And then with the Broncos, there's a few players I want to touch on here fantasy-wise, and then we can go on to the next game. Is Xavier Willison on the weekend. He did score, but racked up 62 points on the weekend and has got a break even of 17, 487 Ks, mid and edge dual. And also the big thing was he actually played 80 minutes on the weekend, and I think he's starting to really adapt to that edge role for the Broncos. I'm not saying go out and get him this weekend. I'm just saying he's definitely one to watch if you want someone like that. And then Mick did touch on this guy last week in the podcast. He did also mention Cody Walker that a day after the podcast actually, or the day basically a couple of hours after we did the podcast. I think he tore his calf. So that wasn't good. But Selwyn Cobbo, he had his centre and wing fullback dual, 426K. Look, he got 43 points playing at fullback. I'm not sure when Walsh is still going to be a couple of weeks away. Does Walsh play Origin? Does Cobbo play Origin? I'm not really sure.
I can't see Walsh playing Origin.
But that's something to monitor. Well, if you want to go from what I heard today, Cord, look, the post will start coming back. I just had a very busy day at work, but I did see a notification come up about that. There has been some rumours that Billy Slater has been considering playing Cam Munster at fullback, considering the form of Ponga and Walsh at the moment. He has thought of playing Munster at the back and having Did and DCE in the halves. Obviously, if DCE plays, but yeah. Otherwise, if you still got Corey Pates, that's probably someone we didn't touch on last week. Look. He got 22 points. It's probably time to go, Corey.
Yeah, time to go. Positive news for the Storm in the last game is that Falongo is named on the wing. He continues to light up the Storm. He's a great player.
I can't wait for this game, Cord. This is going to be a humdinger.
No changes for the Raiders. Good to see Nicholson is still trucking along nicely with 80-minute performances. Scored another try on the weekend. Storm, same old, same old. A lot of their guys will play Origin. Can't see Pappenhausen playing Origin, so if you want to pick up him, he's a buy. Otherwise, nothing much there to report.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so from the Storm Raiders. Cord. Look, Hughes is continuing to lose cash. I think Pappenhausen's definitely the option there, brother. If you want to go and pick someone up, Eli Katoa had a good game last week as well. Responded in fine fashion, but Hughes is continuing to lose cash. He's down to 560 now. If you wanted to have a go now, I honestly wouldn't say no. I think it could be a good time.
Yep.
Could he lose a bit more cash? Yeah, definitely. Is this a tough matchup? I think so. But the Raiders have shown that they can leak points, but they are a really strong second half team. Yep. In regards to the Raiders, like you said, Cord, Nicholson's been good, 56 on the weekend. Definitely not a Stell. He's still playing that 80 minutes. Fogarty that we picked up a couple of weeks has just been exceptional. Really good the last couple of weeks. Just as Sevilla Tamale has as well. Horsburgh, look, I think Big Red could play some Origin this year with the way he's playing. And look, 61 points on the weekend. Look, he's killing it. And then Starling had a good game, but look, if you wanted to sell him, that's fair enough. But it was definitely one of his better games from Starling, and that's basically Magic Round. That's a TLT.
Make sure to stick around for the Buy, Hold, Sell podcast dropping tomorrow. There's plenty of buys, plenty of sells, plenty of holds. So make sure to tune into that one.
What about Cord? Do you want to go again?
Yeah, you know what?
So you had what, Stefano to score last week. Unfortunately that didn't happen. Yeah. And you had what was it? Tino as skipper. How did that go?
Yeah, it went well. Got 50 plus. That'll do.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I think I had Kiraz as captain, and he just didn't do very well.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'll give one again. Pod captain. Let me go down the list here. Not seeing much I like in the edges there. I'll go to the mids.
I'll give you one.
Yeah, you go first.
Jacob Preston.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's a good pod captain this week against the Titans. A few changes. Doggies coming off a big loss. I think that the Doggies will, even though they're a few troops down, I think Preston's in for a big one.
All right, I'll go the same wavelength there. Angus Crichton's going to be my pod captain this week.
Oh, you're telling me to put the captaincy on him against you this week?
Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
Angus Crichton's the pod captain for me. How's it going?
No. So, thanks everyone for watching, listening. And just lastly, look, thank you so much for the support. I can't stress enough. It's just so good to have our account back. I think it was legitimately Christmas last night at 10:30 when I saw the account come back. Look, we've put so much effort in for you guys to try and help you out, as well as, all the news and keep you guys updated. We love it to bits. Love all your guys' support. So, stay tuned. We'll be back to, tomorrow for you guys for Buy, Hold, Sell. Make sure you come and see us at Magic Round.
See you there.
Catch up.